Well, hello. Blessed Monday to you, and welcome to episode 3 of Unforgiveness. Today's episode is going to be a discussion on unforgiveness stuck in the middle. The previous two episodes, I asked you a question: who hurt you? In the second episode, I talked to you about now that you know who hurt you, what are you going to do about it? Well, today I'm going to talk about unforgiveness stuck in the middle. So, probably the first thing that comes to mind is, what are you stuck in the middle of? What are you actually stuck in the middle of? Well, you're stuck in the middle of forgiving and not forgiving, unforgiveness and forgiveness. Um, yes, I have forgiven. No, I haven't. Yes, I did forgive them. No, I didn't. Um, I thought I forgave them, just to come to find out that I really didn't. So I want to forgive them, but I can't forgive them. I can forgive them, but not all the way. Um, what they did was damaging. What they did, I'll never forget. And remember, I don't know if you've been watching my shorts, but on one of my shorts, I explained to you that no, you're not going to forget. You're not going to forget. You're going to, but what you should be, if you remember anything, I'll put it that way. If you remember anything, you should be remembering the situation, but forgetting the way it made you feel. Because if you never forget the way it made you feel, then that seed that we talked about earlier is getting watered, is coming back up. You're starting to feel angry, depressed, bitter, upset, unforgiving, all over again. So you need to forget about what that did to you. But, and I know you say, well, I can't really forget about what it did to me because what it did to me still hurts me. Well, look at that in the reverse. It still hurts you because you still remember the feeling it caused. And that's where you're stuck at. You're stuck at in between saying, you know what, it's not worth it. I forgive them. Hey, water under the bridge is in the past. And all that's very logical. And you address it on the outside, but in the inside, you're holding on. Because that holding on part somehow psychologically makes you feel better. But it's not really making you feel better. I know now I'm sounding confusing, but it's really not making you feel better. It's just making you recall. Recall. Every time you don't forgive a situation or somebody, you recall what happened. And when you recall it, you temporarily fix it. That's all. Just as if I was driving a Kia and Kia had some kind of recall a couple of years back. And it said, bring it into the service department and we'll handle it. And they did. Took it into the service department, and whatever this was, they handled it, and the car was fine for a while. And from that recall, there was something else that began to happen. So the first thing that you do is, when you recall what happened the first time with the first person, the first individual, then it starts to happen all over again. It can either happen in your flesh, in your spirit, or in your memory. So that means it's really and truly not gone. So why can't I get unstuck? Why can't I get unstuck? Why am I still in between forgiveness and unforgiveness? Well, that's because of who it was. It's just because of who it was. This ties into what they did. And I don't know what they did. It could have been your mother, your aunt, your sister, your cousin. It could have been physical, mental, verbal abuse. But that's why you can't quite let it go. It could have been your daddy, your priest, your pastor, your uncle, or any other male individual that you trusted and loved, and they molested you, kidnapped you, beat you, tied you up. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, it caused a problem. It caused a problem of recall, and it caused one of the main problems ever. And that's the indecision to forgive versus the decision to remain in the pain. Now that's what it's caused. You're stuck in the middle because you can't decide whether you're going to really forgive them or you just going to recall it every now and then. Or you'll put a Band-Aid on it and try to fix it emotionally. You're going to forget it for a while. So if you're in it's stuck in between the indecision to forgive or not to forgive, then the decision you really have made in all of that is that you're choosing to remain in the pain. Yep. Last episode, I talked about you making a decision to keep hurting yourself or harming yourself. So when you're stuck in the middle, then you're either making a decision to forgive or you're making a decision to remain in the pain. So I'm not a big psychological expert or anything, but I would say the healthiest route is to go back in on that recall and trade it in like I did. Go in to that recall thing and trade it in for forgiveness. Real forgiveness, real forgiveness, real forgiveness. Not talkable forgiveness. Not I'm going to write you a letter and say I forgive you. No, but real forgiveness. Recall it. You already know who did it. You already really know what happened, what they did. That's the core. That's the ugly, nasty. That's the painful thing about it. It's what they did. So what they did has you stuck in the middle of, am I going to forgive them or am I really not going to forgive them? Because every time I recall that thing, it just hurts me over and over again. So then you make another bad decision. A decision not to help you, not to cure you, not to heal you. You make a decision to remain in the pain. So I'm going to say to you, this elongated remaining in the pain thing that Brenda Henderson did caused a lot of problems. A lot of problems with the way I saw things, problems with the way I thought I was hearing from God, problems with the way I treated people, problems with the way I mistrusted people. That elongated staying in the pain thing doesn't help anybody. And it doesn't help anything. It diminishes you and your ability to serve and your ability to live a gracious, glorious, and joyful, prosperous life. at this day and time, with so many things that are hurtful, harmful, evil, murders, kidnapping, trafficking, to name a few, the least we can do is not cause pain and injury to ourselves. So, as I sign off this week, I want you to think about, really in depth think about, is this person, place, or thing, we want to do it grammatically, worth you remaining in your pain? Is it really worth that? And then I want you to ask yourself, you not forgiving them, has it helped you? Because if it has, please put that in the chat. Please put that in the chat if that has helped you, because I want to know how it did. So you hanging on to unforgiveness, if that has helped you, I think I have a right to know. Because I'm saying from total experience, it did not help me. So have a blessed week and think about some of the things we talked about and forgive. And you're going to be hearing this for the next several weeks. Just forgive. If you can't remember nothing else I've said on my channel, on my shorts, on this video, remember that one word. And that one word is forgive. Bye now.